Martin, welcome to the Digimedia Dude Expo coverage here in NAB 2016. You are with Boxx Technologies. Can you tell us a little bit about what is Boxx Technologies?
Boxx Technologies is an organization based in Austin, Texas. We build everything in the United States for high-performance graphics applications, everything from architectural engineering, construction, media, entertainment, and people that do manufacturing and product design.
So let's talk a little bit about specs and what people that want to get sort of a higher end workstation, let's say for video editing and rendering, what kind of specs in general terms should they be looking at?
Well, the first thing is we actually tune the hardware to the application versus taking a general purpose approach to it. So if we take a look at an application and we know it's for example, a single-threaded application, we may be able to take more of a frequency processing approach versus throwing more cores at it. The good news is that saves our customers money, as well as give them potentially 30 to 50% more performance running that application, so for editing.
So when people are looking at either yours or another box right out there, another high-end workstation, it's not only just CPU or memory, right? But it's all the components. Like, how important is GPU?
It is extremely important. A lot of these applications today are taking advantage more and more of GPU performance. We have an example here of a system that's actually a product called Flame. That's from Autodesk, which is a high-end finishing tool. A lot of people would probably say it's one of the Cadillac products in the industry. And the reality of it is that it does take advantage of multiple GPUs, and these are fairly expensive. But we want to tune it not only with the GPUs, but a combination, like you suggested, of CPU, GPU performance overall. And then the other side of it is where people are looking at doing, how do I say this, a lot of video I/O. They basically want to have additional slots, power, and maybe even have it in an office environment where it's quiet enough. So the enclosure for some of these type of systems is also important, where you don't want to have something that's excessively loud, so we liquid cool our processors and our GPUs as well.
Right, so expandability, liquid cooling, the power supply is an important aspect of it, right, for expandability wise.
Yep, redundancy.
So, and I know you've got another interview coming up, but Mac versus PC, and this is not really a war thing, which one is better, or who loves what, because we all are in our camps.
Yes.
But really it's more of a reality check. I mean, I'm a Mac lover, I love Macs, but I know that from a hardware perspective, it's really weak comparison to a sort of on the Windows side, right? I'm not comparing Windows and Mac OS, I'm just comparing the hardware.
Well, there's two ways of really looking at this. The alternative to using applications on the Mac is either going to be Linux or Windows, as you had indicated. In this case, we're also running Linux and we're running that Flame product. If we're running something like Media Composer, what we find is people are coming to us and saying, what you were kind of alluding to earlier is that the rendering performance is extremely important to them.
Right.
So if we can win them over with performance, that's probably the key point right there. Reliability of the systems, and you know we're trying not to stretch the hardware to its limits. We're trying to get something that's comfortable where these applications will perform extremely well.
Is overclocking at all important when it comes to video editing? I know with gaming, overclocking is a big thing, but what about for video editing?
Well, it really depends on the application and how it's written. So for example, if I'm looking at overclocking for doing rendering, how is that code written? Is it multi-threaded or single-threaded? That'll kind of basically be the telltale. The reality of it is I encourage people to benchmark the hardware before they do their procurements, especially if they're going to be doing large buys.
Right.
It's really easy to go and buy general purpose equipment, but the reality is that if I can basically perform something that's 30% better for a comparable budget, why not take that on?
Right. And finally, storage-wise, hard drive, or should everybody just go to SSDs now?
The systems that we have here right now have 32 terabytes of internal SSDs, so I kind of go both ways. The answer is that if you want to have it local, SSDs are a great way to go. You're still paying a premium for that. You know, we're using 2 terabyte SSDs. They're fairly expensive. If you basically have a network or some sort of I guess you could say a disk I/O card that you're going to be putting in there and going out to a shared resource, that's fine too.
I see. Okay, cool. Martin, thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome.
And if people want to find out more about Boxx Technologies, where should they go?
You can go to Boxx, or boxtech.com.
Excellent. Thanks again, Martin.
You're welcome.